Hello, everyone. Oh, thank you very much. Today we have Dana Mantilia. It's a pleasure to have you, Dana. We are very excited to collaborate and share because I noticed as well, Dana, you are very passionate about cybersecurity. So welcome to stage, first of all. This is a hi to everyone in the globe, including Brazil. So my question for you, Dana, and feel free to collaborate on that, is where did the passion started?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on. I would say that my passion started when I came out with a identity theft protection product several years ago. And then we created a platform for others that wanted to offer it, financial advisors or insurance agents. And then after that, that's when I realized how much education we all need on this whole topic. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we're not really keeping up with what we should be doing. And there's a lot of really basic things that we could all do. And it would make the whole world, such a much safer place. And so I think I started doing my videos. I was actually a little intimidated to do them because this is such a serious topic. And some of my videos, as I'm sure if you've seen them, they're a little goofy sometimes. But I think that people, they see me as a regular person that they can kind of relate to. And I try to make sure that the language that I talk about in my videos is, so everybody can understand it and actually retain it. So then if they run into one of these situations, maybe they'll stop and they'll think, hey, I remember her talking about one of these things. This sounds a little suspicious, and maybe stopping for a minute and just thinking about it. So that's how I started doing the videos. I had no intention of going into, promoting all this on social media, but it's kind of taken off and people respond to me. They send me private messages about how I help them, or I help their parent, or they talk to their kid about what they shouldn't be posting. So that's what really, helps me keep going, is knowing that I think I really am helping people.
You definitely are. I can tell you that I start to follow you, and as you say, I think education is never enough, and I think the way that you describe how you promote cyber awareness is fantastic. I think congratulations on that front, because it's fundamental that cybersecurity is for everyone. There is no such a thing that you just described there that is specific for a reason. No, I think it's open to everyone, and everyone should be embracing. And I think I always like to share that, for example, in UK where I live, my child is having a cyber education, which we didn't have on our generation, right? So now we have to go back and re-educate ourselves from the digital economy that we survive. And my following question to you, how do you keep yourself updated? I know there is a lot of things happening, but how do you keep yourself updated into that field?
Well, I have a lot of great communities that share lots of information. I'm always doing research, always looking into certain things. And over here in the US, the Department of Defense is now working on making sure that all of their vendors and government contractors are going to be certified. And that's a very good thing, because it's also showing that that's where they're starting, is with the Department of Defense. And then it's going to grow to some of the other agencies. And I know I mentioned a lot that some of the small businesses around the world are really not doing anything to help protect themselves. It's kind of sad, but that's the reality of where we are. And I think what's going to happen is, like, the governments are getting involved, mandating some kind of, cybersecurity, good hygiene. The larger businesses that you do business with, they may now say to their smaller vendors, what are you doing to protect our information when you have it? And that's going to kind of force the hand of people making sure that they are doing whatever they need to do to get certified relative to their industry.
Well, which is good, right? So we are talking about people getting more professionalized in the industry, which is I think, it's not young, but I think now is more obviously that we need to improve the matter, right? Since that you just mentioned, and I can share with you the difference of a company that had an attack is very different than the company that believes they're never going to happen with them, right? So this is natural, and once this happened, the posture had changed completely, right? So they start to believe that it's not like a movie style thing or Hollywood movie style that's going to happen. That's fact, right? Cybersecurity is there. And I think my last question for you today, as we are talking about, did you notice a demand for cyber awareness? I think since you mentioned a lot of qualifications are getting more professionalized in the industry, but did you notice a lot of demand on your work to conduct the cyber awareness from this new pandemic crisis that we're living? I'm saying the new because we're on the third wave.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I've done hundreds of interviews with small business owners, and especially with the working from home. And a lot of them don't even really think twice about how they're connecting, who in their company still has access to their systems. And some of the stuff is just basic stuff that if we all did, like having a password policy. What password are your employees using? Is it the same password that they use for every single other thing? Then maybe it was involved in a data breach somewhere. What kind of data do we have? Since the data isn't stored in big binders and paper where you can physically see it right now, right? It's in this cloud, it's in this cloud, it's in this system. How long are we keeping this data for? Do we even need it anymore? Are we disposing of it? So basic things like that keeping who has access to the data and what data it is, nothing too tough, but those are just two little starting points that I think would be a big help.
Oh, fantastic. And I mean, the stage is yours again, but do you want to share any kind of tips or information for, for the industry in terms of, as you always did, maybe it's a catch of surprise now, but, it's up to you.
That's okay. No, I think that the biggest thing that all of us need to do, no matter what size our company is we need to make sure that we are creating a culture where we talk about this stuff. We talk about, hey, I got this weird email that I don't know if I should be clicking on it, because what's happening now is 85%, at least 85% of all of these scams, ransomware attacks that are going on are because of a user error. Employees, it's easier to trick an employee than it is to hack into a computer system. So if we're all talking about this and always kind of aware of, wait, I got a weird phone call. Should I have is someone from IT going to call and ask me for my login credentials? If someone doesn't know that no one's going to do that, then maybe they would say, oh, I guess it's just IT. They need my information. So starting the conversations and creating a culture within an organization that everybody's just more aware of being a little suspicious of things.
No, it's fantastic, and it's very well said. I think the culture is everything for us to protect. And as you said, it's just the cyber hygiene, the basic. If everyone starts to the basic, I think the surface of attack will decrease significant in the scenario. But yes, definitely. Dana, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate your help, and we keep in touch.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.